Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Number one is that I am just going to run with this. When people tell you whom they are, do not argue. That is just them. When you try to make excuses for them, you are actually creating room for them to continue with what their beliefs and all of that. So it's actually a compilation of videos of colored people saying that, I won't be comfortable if I see a black man or a black woman here and all that, because I really don't know who tell them or how they position their mind and all that to feel that black people cannot do some certain things. Because I have really seen videos where they say that black people are only built for labor. I mean, they are not supposed to be anything other than that. So when they see black people doing amazingly great and all that, they freak out. And then you all already know how they are trying to manipulate the system to make the system all in favor of them and all that. There are some places you go to, you will not even see a black person, because they know what they are tightening up. They are trying to tighten their space so that there won't even be space for people that look like me to fit in here. Why? Because they are really scared that that space is going to be taken away by them, and then they have nothing left. Because if not, why would you wake up to say that or say some certain things? If I see a black pilot, a black doctor, I am gonna freak out. What is freaking you out in the first place? Because I don't get it. Let's get into this.
I will never get on another United Airlines flight ever. Can you imagine the flight attendants now going, "Hey, everybody put on your seatbelt," even though I don't know how to use it? Like, what are we talking about?
Why, how correct Vinny is.
I would be terrified if I got onto a plane and I saw a woman flying the plane. And I know that we have the United CEO saying that he just wants to fulfill a quota.
That's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
It's the reality the left has created.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. If you're a member of a minority group, any minority group, these people do not like you. In fact, they hate you. Even when the conservative pundits that are propped up nationally are members of minority groups, they still hate you. And this is regardless of political affiliation. I don't give a damn what you believe. All I care about is the fact that these people have to lie to you, and they know that they have to lie to you. Let's look at this whole pilot situation. The right would have you believe that these corporations are becoming so obsessed with DEI that they're tanking their standards and resorting to just pulling a random motherfucker off the street and putting him in a cockpit because he's black. A fucking wheel fell off of a plane while it was taxiing, and randomly Donald Trump Jr. decided to blame DEI for it. Now, judging based off the voices of the pilots in this video
and the numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that shows that about 92% of pilot flights and flight engineers are white,
it don't sound like no black people are in that cockpit, nor are there women in that cockpit. Y'all remember when that door blew off the side of that Alaskan Airlines flight? Elon Musk had this to say.
You responded to a post claiming that the average HBCU grad was less intelligent than the average airline pilot, and stated that it will take an airplane crashing and killing hundreds of people for them to change this crazy policy of DIE. I don't know if did you misspell it on purpose? Do you believe that women and minority pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white male pilots?
No, I'm just saying that we should not lower the standards for them.
Okay. But I just want to tell you that pilot that you talked about, in fact, was a woman pilot, landed the plane safely. Boeing has taken responsibility for that incident.
Now, if you're anything like me, you're wondering, where's the evidence that all of the standards to become a pilot have somehow flushed down the toilet in favor of DEI? Would you believe me if I said that it doesn't fucking exist? But JJ, yes it does. Did you not see the statement from the United Airlines CEO?
We have committed that 50% of the class of the classes will be women or people of color.
How that's going to work out without cutting quality, I do not know.
He said classes in the clip. The CEO was saying that the company wants 50% of its Flight Academy classes to be women or people of color. Please read this article. Flight Academy students are at the start of their careers, years away from being hired as pilots for any major airline. But these people, who are either dumb as fuck in some cases or are lying to you in other cases on purpose, have tricked people into believing that he meant 50% of the hires are going to be minorities or women. Different companies and flight academies can pair with colleges and universities in order to encourage people to go through the process to get the degrees and requirements necessary to become a pilot. Because no matter how many minorities or women these people want to hire as pilots, you still typically need a degree from a field like transportation engineering, business, or something adjacent. If you don't need a degree, you still need to complete flight training with FAA certified flight instructors. You may end up having to do a 2 to 4 year aviation degree, which can include several weeks of ground school and flight training, various types of trainings for specific aircrafts, practice and training executing certain maneuvers, because shocker, nothing about DEI doesn't mean you still need to have have all of those requirements before they will hire your ass. Jumping further into the nonsense, Libs of TikTok tweeted this. Before we read this, here's the creator of Libs of TikTok when asked a very fucking basic question.
If transgenderism doesn't exist, which it seems like that's what you believe, what happens to all the people living happy lives as trans people?
Well, first of all, the whole trans it's based on a law. You can't change your gender.
Okay, but
so they could go live their life. I mean, I can't tell someone what to do in their house.
Sounds like you do want to tell people what to do in their house.
I never said that.
That brilliant specimen tweeted something about how Virgin Atlantic did something where they did the pronoun pins and non-binary and drag queen attendant.
And last week a Virgin Atlantic flight was canceled after a passenger noticed missing bolts on the wing.
Hey, remember when I told you fucking 92% of pilots and flight engineers are white men? So you're telling me it's the non-binaries and the queers that are the reason why the plane has missing bolts and not the... Let's get serious for a second. There's no evidence of a widespread drop in standards for becoming a pilot. There's no evidence that DEI is hurting any company, let alone the flight industry. There is no evidence of systemic bias or racial discrimination against white people in the airline industry, given how they are severely overrepresented in that industry. And none of these motherfuckers could even dare make the case that any of the high-profile malfunctions we've seen have been a product of DEI or any minority person at all. But they'll still just say the shit and throw it in there at the end.
Why manufacture a narrative that you cannot support at all? Not even a little bit.
Well, A, it's 2024, and the conservative election strategy is Joe Biden and the demon rats are gonna drag the country under with their overly inclusive, queer agenda. But also, and this is a great American tradition, if there's a problem that seems to be indicative of a deeper societal problem or a deeper systemic or capitalism problem, it's the minorities. We aren't seeing plane malfunctions because Boeings are being pressured to be built so that the company can make more money and keep promise to shareholders, which has been resulting in fucking casualties. And executives within the industry have confirmed as much.
For legal reasons, I am required to say allegedly and suggested as much.
It could never be that, because that would reveal the fact that sometimes capitalism does what capitalism does, and companies can give so much about a profit incentive that they don't give a damn what happens at the end. And if the money we can make from cutting costs and rushing outweighs the potential risks, even though there will be elevated risks, well, so be it. And if your plane door happens to fucking explode or you explode and die, we'll deal with that later. If they had to come to terms with that grim reality, they'd start asking themselves, and the people who vote for them would start asking themselves a lot of questions. Certain people might start tilting their heads and looking at things weird when the next person who's running in a race is talking about how they want to deregulate stuff. Didn't deregulation just lead to that tragic shit I just saw? Stop! Don't ask any questions. It was the minorities. It was the DEI. Of course. Don't hate minorities, just don't lower the standards for them. They're not lowering the standard. Well, they are, because how else did the thing fall apart? Well, don't actually look at how it fell apart. Just these people hate you, or they don't give a fuck. Either way, the result's the same. Good day.
So this is all I got from this. And sincerely speaking, JJ is not lying. Do I need to tell you that they really do not care about people that look like me and other people? But I really don't care about other people because they don't bring us into the, they don't bring us into the discussion and all that. So what I am after is the people that look like me. Look at all the things they come out to say. If I see a black woman, if I see this, like sometimes I really don't know what they call us or what they think about us, but I have really seen a lot of them saying that we are not smart, because that is what they say. We are not smart. They said that we are not men. Okay, I have really heard them say things like black people are not supposed to be managers. They are not supposed to be pilots. They are not supposed to be doctors, and all. They are just very good and well equipped to be laborers. Like they are just good at labor and all that. And then I looked at this, I was like, wait, are you really for real? And I am really very proud of that, how the future is turning out. I see a lot of doctors, nurses, lawyers. That's why I am agitating, and really I would be really much more than happy to see a lot of lawyers, doctors, nurses, a lot of them engineers, politics, going into politics. I think enough with all these basketballers, like athletes and all that, because I feel like that is just the only thing we can do. If it's not anything that got to do with strength and all that, we can't do any other thing. Like, who told you people this? And then when you hear things like white people are not genetically maybe smart and all that, I really don't know where, but all these are the things I heard from them. Yes, I heard it from them, not from any other person. So you see all the discrimination, like, how they put it, like, they make it look obvious that you guys are not supposed to be this, you guys cannot do this. So for that reason, when I get into a particular place and I see that it's all black people in charge and all that, I am not good. Okay, there was a video I actually saw yesterday about a popcorn man saying that, what if I go to a black doctor? How will the doctor know what is wrong with me? This really shows how dumb some people can be. Because if you are not dumb, you can, I mean, it's only a very, very silly person that can ask that question. It's just like telling me when I go to doctor or a white doctor, how do they know what is wrong with me? It's not, first of all, they have conversation, then start doing their diagnosis and all that. Is there something else? And it was like, when I go to a black doctor, how will they know what is wrong with me? Because your system is rock of ages. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.